Hi YouTube. So today I want to talk to you about adapting Menards 027 gauge track with the older Lionel tubular track. Both tracks work well for your 027 Lionel equipment and Menards 027 rail equipment. But when you look at both tracks, they're both different sizes. And what I mean by that, if you look, the Menards track that is available today is very tall. It's a very heavy duty track. I like using it. The trains run very smooth on it, and it's also very cheap. So you can't really beat that as far as usage goes. Your older tubular Lionel track, kind of give you an example there of it. It's a good track as well. However, they claim that these work together. Well, they really don't. They're not plug and play. They're not compatible with each other. The Menards track has larger pins, connector pins, than the Lionel does, so the two tracks don't go together. They're also a different height. See there in the video, definitely a big size difference. So you have to do a small amount of work to get them to work together. And I'm going to show you in the video what you do to make those two tracks work together. It's not that hard. You're going to need a couple tools, and you'll probably need like a flathead screwdriver on the smaller side, and then maybe a set of pliers, or like a channel lock, or your needle nose, or electrician's pliers. So the first thing you want to do to make these two things fit together is you're going to want to take your Lionel track, and you want to get your flathead under the little tie mounts and bend backward under each one. Just pry back a little bit. Just enough to be able to loosen the rail in the tie. And after that's done, you want to push that tie back. Oops, and be careful, don't cut yourself in the process. So you might want to wear a pair of gloves, which I'm not in this video. So once you do that, and you can see this has already been kind of worked on, I push the tie back. You want to stick your flathead into the Lionel track. It might be a little bit of a challenge to get the pins out. I've already removed the pins from this section, but once you spread that track, you want to take your pliers and pull your pins out. Okay, and if they resist you, you have not spread the rail apart enough. Once that is achieved, you want to try and fit the two pieces together. You want a little bit of resistance, but you don't want a lot, okay? If they don't go together, usually right in here, the little locking bump where the old pin was locked into the track will have a little bit of indentation. So you might need to turn it back over, get your screwdriver in there, and spread the Lionel track a little bit farther apart. So right now, it looks like this is going together fairly well. And after you get those together, you can kind of shape the Lionel track around the Menards larger diameter pin. And after you do that, you can kind of squeeze that back together again. It's not too big of a deal. Just do it judiciously. Don't get crazy about it. You don't want to bend anything way out of whack. Just kind of making it work together. And after you're done doing that, you want to push the tie back into place. And now, let's see if you can see that there. Those two tracks are where the wheel surface will go over are generally about the same height, okay? Once that's done, you want to go ahead and re-secure your tie by pushing it down on your Lionel rails. Sometimes it's a little tough. Take your pliers, kind of push down, okay, and they'll bend back down. Takes a little bit of force. Like I said, you might want to wear gloves. Some of this metal is sharp, so take it for what you will. Try to keep yourself safe. If you have any that won't press down, you can use your pliers to kind of help them along. After you get them secured together, you want to take your pliers, kind of squeeze the tops, your final locking, lock those pins in. Okay. After that's completed, after you've worked those two pieces together, you want to kind of take a look at the level and make sure that they're mated correctly. And what I mean by that is so your train can roll over very smoothly. Also use your fingers. Fingers are a great sensing tool to find out if it's going to work smoothly. If there's any big bumps, you want to adjust those. You can use your pliers again to kind of smooth that intersection out. If you have to get, if you have anything that's really high up, you can use a set of track pliers, or you can use like a small brass hammer. A brass tip hammer is pretty soft, and you'll be able to reshape those tracks together. You also want to make sure that when the inside of the flange of the wheel comes, it's not too rough. Okay, so this is pretty smooth. So this is a usable piece now. Just want to make that as smooth as possible. Now you don't want to convert every Menards track to fit the Lionel. You just want a couple conversions, like on a big straightaway, you know, like you're going to put your big Menards piece in, and then maybe, you know, start your Lionel curve set. So that way every piece doesn't have to be a adapted piece. You only want several of these in your layout, but it's nice to be able to use the Menards track because it's so cheap, it's strong, and then, you know, of course, adapt to your older Lionel setup. So there is a difference in height. If you're laying these on carpet, it's not a big deal because the carpet will absorb, or rather adapt, the two together with the transition. Essentially, it won't be that big of a deal. If you're putting these on a table, there will be a small elevation difference, so you just have to figure out how you want to work that out. But you can see these two went together pretty well. I'm going to give you an example now of this new adaptation of the rolling stock rolling over it. And let's see if I can, oops, derailed there. It's very smooth. And I'll give you another example real quick here. This is a piece I did a while back, yesterday. And there is, I'm trying to hold on to it, okay? It's a very smooth transition. So I encourage you to check out the Menards track. It's very cheap. For today's prices, stock up on it because you never know when something's going to go away. That conversion works out really well. There's another view of a different piece I did. This one's actually not 100% done, but you can tell it's a very, you know, both of these worked out very well. There's the back side. This I haven't finished pulling this tie back in and setting the tracks completely, but you can see it's going to work really well. I appreciate you watching my video. I hope this works for you. This will help you convert some of your Lionel track or adapt it to the newer style Menards track. And I appreciate you watching, and have a good day. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.